much for staying with us on ET Now. And Juniper Green Energy has quietly built itself into one of the country's top 10 renewable power producers in less than a decade. Now, the company has opened an IPO worth of about 1,800 crore rupees entirely through a fresh issue. And Sajid caught up with the management to understand what their growth roadmap is looking like.
Well, Juniper is an IPP. We're one of the largest IPPs in the country today from the capacity, contracted, under construction, and award point of view. The company has today about 10,000 gigawatts of peak capacity, which is out of which 2,400 is operational, 6,000 will be up and running in the near future, and then our total, which will take our total capacity by 2030, 2032, probably to about 10,000. The portfolio of the company consists of about 83% of wind solar hybrid and FDRE. We have only 17% of vanilla solar, which makes us differentiating from the point of view that probably one of the highest in the industry to have that composition of the portfolio.
Give us a sense of the kind of usage of the funds that you're going to do. You are raising 1,800 crores in fresh equity. How are you going to use this amount?
All for expansion of the capacity. There's no FS, as you know, so all the capital that will be raised is going to use for the capacity expansion. Okay.
If I look at your revenue profile there, it's gone up from 508 odd crores in FY25 to 719 crores. What is the kind of timeline that you have for completion of these projects, and when are they going to get commercialized?
So different projects will come at different stage. As I said, we are today 2,400 megawatts of peak up and running capacity and 500 megawatts of battery. We have all the land and all the connectivity de-risked, and under construction projects will take us to the capacity of about 6,000. So the timelines will be roughly FY 2028.
At the end of FY27, what would be the expected commercial capacity which would be installed?
As projects are under execution, I can't give you an exact amount of capacity that can be there. The target is to get to 6,000 megawatts of capacity by FY28.
Give us a sense of the off-takers that you have. Currently, you have Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam as one of them, and the other one being Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company. For the 6,000 megawatts which you're trying to bring in the next 2 years, do you already have firm commitments of PPAs signed with all those off-takers, or and is the existing ones taking up all those power, or you have new off-takers coming in?
So the rest of the capacity primarily goes to new off-takers. We have SJUVN, we have NHPC, we have NTPC, we have Tata Power. So the skew will change by the time we reach to the capacity of about 6,000. We'll have about 75+% capacity to the central government off-takers. And Gujarat and Maharashtra, while they'll stay, they'll be about 25 to 27% of the offtake going forward. So right now, the capacity installation which we're doing is under the FDRE and the wind solar hybrid projects that we have won.
And what would be the pricing that comes into play here once these goes commercial?
So we'll have an average price of about 3.64 rupees. We are, which we believe should be one of the highest pricing in the industry. Again, this primarily goes because of the mix of the portfolio. And although we had earlier vanilla solar, which was about anything between 3 to 3.1, going forward, the tariffs will be higher because of the mix of tariffs from FDRE and wind solar hybrid are much higher. So which will lead us eventually to an average tariff of about 3.64.
And does it include battery as well, or is it exclusive of battery?
The capacity which I mentioned, 2,400, as of now we have about 500 megawatts of battery, but the battery capacity will be ramping up to about 4.5 gigawatt hour once the portfolio is complete, once the existing contracts are executed and completed.
Understood. Can you also take us through the future projects that you would be looking at? Because you've given us an indication of how you're going to ramp up the entire portfolio by 2028, and which is basically completion of the under construction projects, which is there. But in the future, is it all through bidding through SECI orders, or is it going to be independently you're going to set up more?
We'll be looking at whichever tenders come from. The capacity that I've told you and the expansion is all, subject to, as you can imagine, a lot of other things. But going forward, as the new tenders will come in, the country has to ramp up the capacity from 270 gigawatts of renewable to about 500 gigawatts of renewable. The battery capacities, which right now total 10 gigawatt hour, is going to go to about 300 plus gigawatt hour in the country. So the capacity expansion is going to be huge. So we believe that going forward, there'll be more opportunities for us to bid into new tenders that will come, to grow the business.
Can you also take us through your debt profile at this point in time, how you're going to bring it down? Because if I'm not wrong, it's somewhere around 12,900 odd crores of the total borrowings that you have. What is the kind of plan that you have to delever yourself?
So if you look at these projects, on the infrastructure projects generally, the funding happens on 80-20 basis. And the minute we install our projects, the whole capacity is sold for 25 years. So the debt profile of these businesses, is different, especially on the infrastructure businesses, because effectively your offtake is signed for 25 years. So infrastructure companies tend to have higher debt because of large capex. And most of our debt sits at the project level. We have only a 1,500 crore debt at the holdco level. Other than that, and we have about 3,300 crore of equity that's already been put into the business. So the debt primarily will stay at the project level and will be paid back, through the sale, which is a 25-year PPAs that we have signed with various utilities.
All right, so that was